Welcome to Crypto Tech Viewers. Every day we are reviewing Bitcoin price in multiple time frames and in multiple trading systems and making an educated price prediction for the next day after analyzing global markets data and Bitcoin options open interest data. Let us begin the video for today. In the last video, we clearly called out that the Bitcoin may trade around 30,000 with 29,000 as a first level of support and 31,000 as a strong resistance. That exactly played out how we called out last time, right? So Bitcoin, what had happened is that it made a head and shoulders pattern. This we saw in the last video, and after that it traded within this rectangle for some time. Once this low of this particular rectangle is broken down, it went all the way down to retest this particular level, and it was after that it was trading in a channel. Now it has trading out of this particular channel and trading with a little bit of a positive bias. But does this mean that Bitcoin has come out of all the woods? No, it's not at all. So 31,000 is still going to be a very strong resistance for Bitcoin even for tomorrow, right? So if we could review the 4-hourly chart, it's still hanging around the 50 period moving average. In the 1-day chart, is trying to reach or retest the 20 WMA level. Right, so if we could review Bitcoin with Nasdaq and then the S&P 500, one good observation which I wanted to share with the viewers is that Bitcoin is more resilient than S&P 500 and Nasdaq. See the last week candle for the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, both are strong bearish candles. But see this Bitcoin actually after this kind of a volatility in the previous week, all three were forming a wick in the previous week, but this week is a little brutal for S&P 500 and Nasdaq. But see Bitcoin, it's so resilient. Actually it's formed an insider candle, and within that too actually it did not fall too much at all actually. So this is looking slightly positive for the Bitcoin. Let us review other technical picture as well. So if we could review the Camarilla pivot point, we could clearly see, it was trading around, the S3 level, and then S3 level offered a kind of more support. So what is more important in the Camarilla pivot point is that the pivot point itself, and then the S4 and R4 is hugely important. These three are, intermediary support that can, that may not be very consistent, but sometimes it can be very useful, right? So S4 and R4 is, for me, it's crucial. So either a break of S4 and R4 level can set a serious trend actually, right? See this case actually, once the S4 broken, it is a free fall, and this week also once S4 broken, even though there was a kind of a volatility, there was a good fall after that actually, huge fall, which would have captured if you are following this S4 approach, right? So for this week, it was trading within the well below this range, and that was also expected as well. I was also explaining this in multiple videos. No, we were not expecting a huge fall immediately in the Bitcoin. That exactly played out. In fact, for the last 2 weeks, right from the 10th May till now 22nd May, Bitcoin is trading around the same range. See that day how much was a panic in the market actually, right? So everyone called out that the Bitcoin or in the crypto is going for zero, or there was huge negative sentiment actually, right? So Luna was going to zero in fact actually, but apart from that, there was a huge negative sentiment with the Bitcoin when that was happening. But that time itself I was clearly calling out that the bottom is somewhere around. Actually I was not calling that it's going to be the bottom actually, I'm saying that it's a temporary bottom, right? As a day trader or a swing trader or a positional trader, this kind of an observation is very important, right? That exactly played out even now. So even now 30K. So if we could review the anchored VWAP, this is a pretty interesting observation. So it went up, now again went down, now after some sidelines, it again went up. It's just playing around this within this particular VWAP level. So if it is falling further harder, so 28,000 will be a strong support, right? It will be a pretty strong support. That's what I'm expecting. And 31,000 is still going to be a pretty strong resistance actually, right? So it won't cross the 31K that easily. And the same way, 28,000 breaking 28,000 is also maybe very difficult actually. But we need to see how the global markets are going to react on Monday. So generally Mondays are the days when the bear market during the bear market, Mondays are the days where things can just fall like a knife actually. So the free falls are all happened during the COVID times on the Mondays only. So many people call Mondays are bloody Mondays, right? So if that is the thing we need to go with, so Mondays we need to be careful, and then we always give a long range on Mondays actually, right? So after the weekend, the global markets open, so it can carry a lot of news for the 2 days, including the two days, so that can stretch the market. So if we could review the Fibonacci series EMA ribbon, we can clearly see it's trying to reach around the 55 EMA again. It's just trying to retest again, right? So stochastic is giving a little bit of a crossover, and then that has given a little bit of a new stochastic cycle for this. But so MACD is not trading comfortably above the signal level, so I'm not seeing a huge bullish case in this in this time as well. So it may get stopped out around the 31K level actually. 31K it should be like facing a stiff resistance. And once the global markets open for tomorrow, that we will come to know many other things actually, right? So if we could review the weekly chart of Bitcoin, again it's an insider candle, so it's trading well within this band, but there is a wick at the bottom. So it went up to here this week, 28,855 around this level, but then it pulled back. And this pullback is really nice. Let's see whether this how the next week is going to be. Right. So if we could review the Bitcoin options open interest data for 23rd May, we can clearly see 31,000 is again a strong resistance. 30,000 itself is a resistance, and but it's now at the moment trading little above 30,000, but 30,000 looks like according to this data is going to be a resistance, and 29,000 will be a first level of support according to this data, and 28,000 will be a strong support. Right, and this is what following our hypothesis, this is 2 standard deviation from this this swing low VWAP, anchored VWAP. This is a 2 standard deviation of this VWAP level. So this is 28,000 will be offering a real strong support if at all, if the Bitcoin is about to fall tomorrow. Right, so that's all for the video today. Thanks all for watching. See you all in the video tomorrow.